So if you believe that you're God's chosen one, can you please listen up to this, please? The devil tempts us more than anybody. And the reason why is because it's already written. Just like with Jesus. It was written before Jesus was even born that he was going to save the world, right? The prophets knew it, and they prophesied about Jesus long before he even came about. So just think about how it is with the chosen ones. Like, of course, we're not Jesus, but God already set it in stone that we were going to be the ones to change the trajectory of the world. We were going to be the ones to break generational curses. We were going to be the ones to bring God to life, to show people that God is real, and to cast out any demons. He already set that in stone before we were even born. So the attacks come at us relentlessly. I remember my mom telling me that my head had to be shocked in order to come out because she was scared to open her legs. I was her fourth child, but I guess my head was so big. She was scared to open her legs. And so my dad and my grandma consented for the doctors to shock my head. And so they didn't know what was going to happen to me because they literally used like what you used to bring people back to life on my head. So what that caused was my head grew faster and my soft spot never closed. So I had to deal with that for my whole life, and the fact that I'm constantly getting migraines for my whole life. Outside of that, I was SA'd as a child by multiple different people. No, there was not penetration, but it was definitely abuse, and it was definitely not consensual by multiple different people, and most of them were females. Family members. I never talked about it online or nothing like that, but it happened. It definitely happened. Maybe I hit on it lightly on my podcast, but I never really spoke on it like that. Then I was bullied really heavily. At first it was because I had long hair, which my hair is not very long right now. It's like it just goes to my back tattoo. But when I was a child, I had really long, really thick, really pretty hair. I had abs. I was small. Like everybody would always tell me how pretty I was. But then I had so many people who hated me. People would tease me all the time. Then I started to gain weight. When I gained weight, I got teased for being fat. Then I decided that I wasn't going to date or have sex or nothing until I got married. I always wanted to be married with kids. I've been babysitting kids since I was a kid. Well, I got married when I was 22 to a guy that I had been dating since I was 19. And he was abusive. He was a cheater. I still stayed with him. I finally left him after 7 years because we had our first daughter and I almost died having her. I had 4 miscarriages. We have her. He's still cheating, so I'll leave him. Well, he tries to kill me. So I go to a DV shelter. Guess what? I get pregnant at the DV shelter. Not at the DV shelter while I was in it. So I date this guy that I'm pregnant by for 3.5 years. He breaks my jaw right after I have our first baby. Then we have 2 more kids and he breaks my ribs. So I move all 4 of my kids out of town with broken ribs. I go through a bisexual phase. I finally surrendered to God. This is the first time I actually feel like myself.